The Connector, Shen Wulong, one of several big bads of the Kengan universe, is unlike most villains in this series, where we've been met with arrogant and generically evil character archetypes who talk trash and twirl their mustaches right up into the moment they are put on the ground. Almost looked like they had a shot at winning before randomly dumbing down, ceasing technique and any use of battle tactics in favor of pulling crazy faces and wildly flailing in mad rushes with a term we endearingly call monkey mode, or going monkey. And so far, while Shen has done well to set himself apart from the rest and pique all of our interests again, we remain cautious. With chapter 191, the end of Berserker Bowl draws near, and anything could happen. After all, during the ending of Kengan vs. Purgatory, I fully expected our beloved Chadward Wu to escape after killing Ario and beating Ryan's ass, only for Ryan to have a training arc and improve as a character and come back later to defeat him and get revenge in a later arc. That didn't happen. In light of this, I would like to talk a little bit about why I like this character so much, why I think you guys like him so much, and what might come soon for him. For starters, without the manga explicitly telling us that he's the head of an evil terrorist organization, we would literally have no idea that he's even a bad guy. Every showing we've had of him, he seems calm and collected, whatever the situation. He doesn't seem to believe he's above anyone else. He enjoys the simple things in life, just sitting down with friends and enjoying a beer and some snacks. He's literally one of the boys, the lads. And so far, he hasn't expressed any malicious intent whatsoever. In fact, he's actually been quite merciful. When Yan wished to have his own brother, Jia Ji, killed, Shen was like, that's pretty fucking harsh, dude. I don't think you should kill him. In fact, I think you should forgive him. And that's pretty based if you ask me, coming from a villain. Normally someone would just be like, yeah, get his ass out of here, kill him, slit his throat, get him out. He even shows some small degree of concern for the two goons, Tom and Jerry, who were sent to tell Jia that they might lose their lives in the process. Now, I'm not going to pretend that he holds all human life sacred, otherwise we'd have to Naidan sweep him under the rug. But I do think that he may believe that death that doesn't suit his own personal goal, or the goals of the worm, may be pointless. Even in Bro's internal monologues, his damn speech bubbles, we haven't seen a dark side to him yet. That is wild. Absolutely wild. The only glimmer of anything sinister we've seen of him so far is in Mitsudo's flashback, where he's engulfed in flames and looking badass as fuck. Other than that, the only other times is when random jabronis see him and shit their pants. That's it. Bro can be just sitting somewhere or walking down the street and people are feeling his presence. They instantly peep his shit, little manga panels of their eyes turning to the corner. What is that, bro? That's a force to be reckoned with. That's what that is. Another thing that's great about him so far is he actually seems to be quite wholesome. Instead of ruling the worm as the head with an iron fist, he appoints Yan as the next head and gives him some encouraging words of support and advice. Based. It's almost like he has big brother vibes with Yan and Jia. I like it a lot, honestly. Another thing is he isn't out there 100% focused on bad guy shit 24/7. He'll go somewhere and observe, and then he'll get bored and start drinking beer or looking for a fast food joint or a restaurant or some shit. Bro shows absolutely no fear of anyone or anything, or even being caught out. The first thing he does when he finds out that Koga beats Jia, he tells Yan to contact the Kengan Association. He's like, yo, get in contact. I want to meet this kid right now. That's badass. At the Berserker Bowl, the way he marches right up to Kazi and plonks his ass down, he does not give a single shit at all. I think you might even like Kazuo, and then Joji appears. The eyes lock, you think it's about to go down, only for the best bromance in all of Kengan to begin. It's 10 out of 10, it's not even close. I love it so much. I've also got a fun drinking game idea for you. Look up every page that Shen appears in. Every individual panel, he's got a beer in his hand, you take a shot of vodka. I guarantee you will be shit-faced by the end. He also earns some points with me for his pettiness when he wants to reveal himself to Kazi and Joji, or how much he knows. He's thinking to himself, Hey, I'm not supposed to talk about that. And then that makes him want to tell them even more. I strive for that level of pettiness. He's supposedly far above anyone we've ever seen before, yet instead of being all bored and being an asshole and thinking to himself how all these fighters in the Berserker Bowl are ass, he's actually paying attention. He seems to enjoy it, and his line about forgetting what it feels like to fight comes across really badass, like implying he's one shot everyone he's ever come up against for like how long? Years? Decades? If he has like Hui Sheng memories, it could be hundreds of years. That's wild. Anyway, let's get on to some more current stuff. In chapter 188, during Koga vs. Ryuki, Shen gets up to go get snacks, air quotes. What I really feel is that he's disappointed by Ryuki's performance and he's going to phone in with Yan. Before he goes, he thinks to himself, he's got it bad. I was wondering what this meant until chapter 191. We see a panel where Shen mentions that he's furious, yet we see his calm demeanor. I believe this is actually his issue with Ryuki, and it's quite simplistic. It's that Ryuki is a crazy motherfucker. He fights like a bitch, a crazy wild animal bitch. He sees Ryuki and he sees a wild, insane child, just a mentally deranged little boy flailing around and acting all edgy, and he thinks, hey, that's not what I had in mind for the Omega. That's kind of disappointing, bro. Shen's got to be a smart guy to be running things and being such a prevalent figure in the worm for all this time, so I feel he knows that someone's fucking with Ryuki's head and messing him up, and I think this is going to piss him off. So Ryuki is an important piece for the worm. Kiryu is trying to manipulate Ryuki and train him up to kill Tiger Nico, who you could say was partnered with the worm. So I think Shen might become wise to this and what Kiryu is doing, and he might have something to say about that. Anyway, moving forward, Shen tells Yan that he's going back to say goodbye to his friends. For starters, if he's being genuine here, that's unfathomably based. He has no reason to lie to Yan. I believe he trusts Yan. So when he says they're his friends, I think he's being sincere. So he might actually just go hang out for a little bit longer, say goodbye and leave. But ever since he showed up to the Berserker Bowl, I've had this one little idea in the back of my head. I keep imagining this scenario where, coming towards the end of the final match, Shen basically just gets up and he's like, hey, this was fun. Anyway, I'm the connector, Shen Wulong. Bye, LMAO. And obviously, someone would be like, get up and try and stop him, possibly Oma or Joji. They may even try and do the I was on to you the whole time shtick. And this is what would be really good, is if in a handful of strikes, Shen just obliterated them. Not killed, just incapacitated and unable to stop him from leaving. And obviously no one around would be strong enough to even try. I just feel that having Shen effortlessly defeat someone who's close to top tier, if not top tier, would cement him as a legitimate threat, and also add stakes back into Kengan, where we felt that the good guys can never take an L unless they're fighting each other for a long time. And I make this video now to preempt the possibility that absolute travesty might happen, where a fight breaks out, and Shen loses his first on-screen fight, just like Edward and Faye. And I would be devastated. In fact, I would lose all faith in Kengan altogether. Alternatively, a callback to what I was talking about before with Kiryu, it might actually be really cool for Shen to run up on Kiryu and murder him. Just straight up absolutely body him and take him out of the story. Because I feel like Ryuki's already had his ass beaten after being trained by Kiryu. That storyline might come to an end. He might, I don't know, they might do a Sasuke retrieval arc where he runs off with the worm. He might just go back to the inside for a while. He might have even seen the error of his ways, which I doubt because he's edgy as fuck. I don't know. I feel like it could be right to kill Kiryu, It would be shocking because he's a legacy character. I think it would be quite cool, but not very likely. But we'll see. I think we need a villain to take a big dub and ride off into the sunset to be defeated another day. I think it would add so much to Kengan. It would add higher stakes. It would make people more invested. And what villain better deserves it right now than the lovable Shen, who's earned all of our hearts, and he hasn't even done anything yet apart from sit around and drink beer. I mean, it's happened several times now where we get really invested in the potential for a new villain, like Yumigahama. We thought he was going to be hot shit. He was nothing. He was sweet fuck all. Fei Wangfang, the fabled tiger vessel, teased through the late Ashura, finally shows up, and while he does put the hands on Waka, he randomly turns into a dumbass and explodes himself. That's not satisfying. He should have just beat Waka's ass and left. Come back another day. Maybe a rematch. That would have been cool. Could have been a good chance to show Waka improving after taking a fat L. Edward. Edward was awesome for all that he was around. In the start of their fight, chef kiss. What he needed to do was beat the shit out of Ryan and then leave. And maybe Ryan could have, grown as a character, saw the error of his ways and acting like a petulant little shit who doesn't care about anyone. He could have hunted down Edward and made him pay. We'd have liked that. Now all we have is Shen and Gilbert, which is Diet Edward. Doesn't even have the same drip. Yan could be good, but he's like a femboy. He's like a femboy, dude. I want Shen to do well. I need Shen to do well, honestly. Anyway, sorry if this video has been a bit scatterbrained and incoherent. I'm just spitting out some thoughts and piecing them together, I suppose. I guess this is also pretty far detached from my usual content, so my usual subscribers won't like that. And I don't think this video will get much reach, but if you watch this, thank you very much. If you'd like to leave a little sub, it might encourage me to make more content like this. Not that it was really enjoyable, I guess. It was just me talking. But thank you anyway. I'll catch y'all later.